All right, welcome to Let's Play Leelaqueenodds, as well as Stockfish 8 from the position I panic in. The board on the left-hand side is edited in. We have a little bit of unusually overexpanded queenside pawns in this game. Leela usually will come out with a lot of pawn moves, but often plays g4, which is unique. I don't think I've ever seen another bot do that. So I played about 5 games yesterday. I almost won maybe 3 of them, and this was the most interesting of those games. So we'll see if I can beat Leela. We had a draw yesterday, very challenging draw. Now because the queen is right behind, the queen is pinning the pawn as soon as the knight pops out. So yeah, so now I could actually check him. I thought about it for a long time. Should I check with the knight? On the previous move, I thought about it for a long time, and I think here I thought about it for a long time as well. And ultimately, I just didn't see why. I didn't see why I would do it, because yeah, I could have won a pawn, but then I'd be taking out one of the pawns that would, well, the b pawn would allow the rook to have direct scope of my king. So I didn't really like that idea, and I did not want to go for that. So now you can see that the engine wanted me to play rook to uh, rook to c7, but I moved the knight over, and then my idea was to watch out for any kind of tricks with the dark sword bishop. That's why the queen was on the was on the 5th rank, and that's also why I wanted to swing my dark sword bishop around. And now I didn't want him to take my pawn, even though I guess that would have been okay. That's why I kept the queen on the g file. So now I moved the bishop back, so that I can move the rook up. And this would be a great time where I could move the rook up. I think that would be a good move. And now I'm obviously looking for check tricks. So I want to check with the knight because the queen is pinning the pawn in front of the king yet again. And I believe we are almost at our position of the day. Now I did think the queen would maybe get trapped. I wouldn't say probably, but maybe. And now I had a lot of great ideas, but none so great. None so great as what you are about to see in our position of the day. And this is our position of the day, brought to you by the Leela Chess Zero project. Actually, I shouldn't say that because it's not true. So now he can take my pawn. No, he can't. The knight defends it. Amazing. There's a really cool move there, if you saw it. I played Stockfish level 8 from that position, and as I've been doing the last 5 days, I wanted to count it. You could jump over with the knight here too, because if his pawn took, then you would be taking back with an uncovered check. It wouldn't win back enough to justify it, but yeah, looks good, man. So now it's actually not super easy to find a way to like convert this into a win quickly. You see that it wants to immediately, the engine immediately wants me to take with the bishop. So there are a lot of tactics like that, because I could then jump up with the knight and win the rook. I mean, I would be getting the rook for giving up the bishop. So yeah, it's a cool idea. I did not notice that during the game, or during me editing the game into this video that I'm now watching and talking over. Whoa, that's what I'm doing? I didn't know. So I pushed the pawn, not seeing, this is my, I didn't actually panic this time. I didn't notice, by the time that I had the pin, by the time that his bishop recaptured, and I realized I didn't have a choice but to give up the queen, I played the move very quickly. I was upset because I thought that I was going to get to keep the queen and that I had an easy win. And I still thought I've got a pretty easy win here. So there is no marching to victory against Leela, and now I think the correct move, not like as in single move, but the correct idea, um, more than anything, was just to not let the pawn get down that far. Because now that I'm just keeping my rook there in the corner, his king's going to be able to climb down and get it, unless I block off that square with the knight, and his bishop is preventing me from doing that. So my idea was, well, I can still take the pawn, as long as both pieces are taking part in that. And then I realized, oh, I couldn't. Oops. So now, once again, there's one square I need to prevent his king from going to, and my knight can't hop to it because his bishop is blocking me. So what should I be doing here? Well, that's a good question. I think I should take right now if I want to have any hope of winning this game. All right, so I didn't want to have any hope of winning this game, and so please subscribe, like, and share today. Um, it did occur to me, with all of the uses of the Proctor software, like what if somebody had, what if someone like associated with the website were to take the code for it and use it, um, you know, for nefarious purposes. Was anything done about that? I would be curious to know. From what I could find, it sounded like no. So anybody associated with chess.com, I mean, only like I think it was the director of puzzles was the only like official member of chess.com who was at any of the tournaments I played in. So who knows? I lost the game there. So, I mean, unless that guy illicitly took the Proctor software and then used, like, well, I won't say exactly what it was. Here we're playing from the position. I had problems with my cell phone that seemed to actually fairly obviously be the result of a very specific kind of technology, which I guess they, I guess that, I could be wrong. I guess I could be wrong. So, anyways, now his king can't take the pawn. It's pinned. So there's so many cool things to do in this position. Um, so many cool things, right? So it's interesting that that we live in a political climate where if something was done to you by like just a normal person, it would basically be like the same thing as if it was done to you by like a company. All right, so it seemed like I blundered there, but actually I found that move, which was that was a cool move. He has the best follow up. Now I can take his pawn. I was thinking about maybe defending the rook and not moving it, but then I thought, oh heck. Oh, sorry about that. That sounded windy. That sounded a little windy. Oh heck, I said though. That's what I said. So now I thought maybe I could take out his bishop. I could take out his pawn on that side, but I think probably the move here is to take out his king side pawns. And this is honestly, for me, this is an extremely easy conversion because he doesn't have the pawns to push. So, I mean, being checkmated is just not very possible. So I even blundered a pawn. That was definitely not on purpose. Um, I'm going for almost a checkmate here. His rook is the only thing stopping it. So now I just have to do this. Yeah, sure, take. And then I could keep taking out his pawns, but why? Why me? Worry. And I did want to go ahead and block the king off from defending the pawn promotion. That's why I moved the bishop there. I don't know that it was super necessary, but yeah. it just was a very logical thing to do. Now his king can't move over, as 'twas written in the stone. And now I'm just going to promote a pawn, probably just one. So check out video description if you would like, if you'd like to try your hand at playing Stockfish level 8 from the position I started from. I tried to pick a position that had really rich tactical abilities. That move was really cool that I played, but there are plenty of other neat ones. So how to go about finding the checkmate here? Well, you can do a couple things, but you can just protect the pawn. That's one way to do it. Or you could also just like promote that pawn pretty safely. But yeah, I went for this. So I went for this, and have a lovely day.